These are the notes for lesson 1.6. We're going to draw and estimate some angles. This will get you hopefully really comfortable with opening up a ray and making an angle and getting a feel for the degrees of them. And I like this because it's very interactive. So there's no paper notes, just watch. These problems say to click and drag the yellow circle in a counterclockwise direction, and it tells us to make a 160-degree angle. We've got 10-degree wiggle room on either side, so we don't have to be exact, but we just have to be close. So this is 0 degrees, and then I start to open. This would be a 45-degree angle. That's an acute angle. And then we get to a 90, which would be our perfect little box here. It's a right angle. Then we'd add another 45 degrees. That makes 135, and then another 45 to make a straight line, which is 180, which they don't let me go all the way. So 160, I know would lie between 135 and 180. The way I like to kind of break this up is thinking, well, this is a 45-degree distance here, or difference like this is. Half of 45 degrees would be 22.5. So if I were to add 22.5 degrees, that would be 157 here. So I could leave it there, and it would be close enough. It would be within 10, or I'm going to drag it down just a smidge and I'll try to get 160 because I like to make it a game with myself and to see how close I can get. So I was only about 1.7 degree off. That's pretty good. All right, let's try another one. Same directions, but this time they want us to create a 76 degree angle. So we know that's somewhere between 45 and 90. Again, I could think, okay, halfway, that would be adding 22 degrees to this, 22.5. That would be 67 here. So I want to be bigger than that. I want to be about 10 more degrees, so I'm thinking somewhere in there. Let's see, so every little bit, that would be 10. I'm going to go down just a little bit. Somewhere in there would be my guess. Oh, look at me go. I was half a degree off. That's pretty good. Okay, then we have level 2s of these. They're the exact same thing as the level 1s. This time we just don't have the guide marks to go off of. They want us to create a 15-degree angle. So remember that this would be a 90. Halfway would be a 45. Halfway between that would be a 22.5. I want to be less than that, so I would say somewhere in there. It might be a little... Oh, that's pretty good. 2.3 degrees off. That was pretty good. So I didn't have it quite big enough. Let's try one more of those. Now we're creating 145 degrees, so that's an obtuse angle. Here's our 90. 90 plus 45 is 135. Let's see, straight here. So here would be 135 plus 10 degrees maybe, and there. Might be too big. Yeah, I had a little too big, but I still was in that 10-degree range. So it's kind of just a guess as good as you can. Okay, the last two problems are basically the same, but the opposite because they're giving us an angle created and we have to estimate the measure to the nearest 10 degree. So think this would be 90, 45 would be about here. I'm going to call this like 35 degrees. Almost went with 32. Oh no. Let's see here. 90. Yeah, 45, it's got to be smaller than that. I'm going to go 28 degrees. What was it? It was 20. So I was quite a bit off. I'm not as good at these as I would like to be, but kind of see here the distance, what 10 degrees looks like. All right, I've got one more of those. This is a level 2 of the measuring ones, or estimating the angle measures. And this is different because it's turned. Pick one of these rays to be your starting point. So let's say this one is like my base. It's like I'm tilting my head to the right. This would have to be straight out to be a 90. So this is in a little bit. This is less than a 90-degree opening. So I would say it's about 85 degrees. It was exactly 85. Look at me go.